Everything in this country is rooted in racism. And the fact that people still get uncomfortable hearing that tells you just how deep it runs. You can't talk about education, healthcare, housing without talking about race. You can't talk about who struggles and who survives without talking about race. Because the blueprint hadn't changed, they just stopped calling it what it is. They didn't fix the system, they just found new ways to disguise it. Look at healthcare. Black women are still dying in childbirth at 3 times the rate of white women. People still act like that's just coincidence? Doctors literally ignore our pain because racism taught them to. Look at food stamps. Every time the government threatens to cut aid, they flash an image of a black mother on Fox News or Newsmax or what the hell ever. Even though most people on SNAP are white, they know what they're doing, they've been doing it. That's how they turn survival into shame. Also, you'll believe poverty is a personal failure instead of policy. Because if we ever saw how rigged this all is, we would literally burn this whole thing down. See, racism isn't just about hate, it's about money. It's the reason billionaires keep winning. They've convinced white working people that helping anyone else means losing something themselves. So they'll fight against healthcare, they'll fight against food programs, they'll fight against housing, not because they don't need it, but because they told the wrong people would get it first. And while everybody's fighting over crumbs, the rich are eating at the table. Y'all know that, right? See, that's the trick. They built racism so the rich literally never have to lift a finger. We do it for them. And now you got people screaming, "Make America great again," while hospitals close and groceries cost double. And kids can't afford college. You think any of that is by accident? Racism is the perfect distraction. It keeps people too divided to notice who's cashing the checks. They'll have you blaming immigrants for stealing jobs, while corporations send those same jobs overseas for profit. They'll have you mad at the single mom using food stamps, instead of the congressman giving billionaires tax breaks. That's the real con. Racism pays the bills for the people in charge. So yeah, literally everything is rooted in racism. And I talk about it not because I'm obsessed with the past like some of y'all choose to think, but because the past is still paying rent in the present. They built this country on a hierarchy that never got torn down. It just got Wi-Fi and better PR. Racism doesn't just hurt Black people. It keeps this whole country sick, broke, and divided. As long as they make us fight each other, they never have to change a thing. So no, I'm not making it about race. I'm reminding you who made everything else about it first. Wake the fuck up. Ugh. This is your reminder from November 25th to December 2nd. We're taking the week off. It's the mass blackout, the people's sick day, whatever you want to call it. Just clock out. And if you can't take time off work, that's okay. Don't panic, just don't participate. Cancel a streaming service, skip online ordering completely. Unplug for a bit, because this week isn't about quitting your job. It's about refusing to feed what's killing your peace. Things feel out of control right now, right? The world's loud, everything costs too much, and nobody feels safe or stable anymore. But that's not by accident. It's because we've been disconnected from each other, from purpose, from community, really. And when people don't have community, they reach for control. And this system feeds on that, right? Your panic, your fear, your exhaustion. So from November 25th to December 2nd, we're taking that control back. Not by fighting harder, but by stepping back together. We're a society of consumers. That's what they've turned us into. So now we're going to show them what happens when the consumers stop consuming. This isn't about rage. It's about reason. It's about giving them a good reason to sacrifice, to finally notice the people who make this country run. So if you can't strike, don't spend. If you can't take off, don't engage. That's the power. Your quiet refusal. Because from November 25th to December 2nd, the goal is simple. Rest. Disconnect from consumerism. That week won't be about breaking anything. It's about reminding them and us that we're the ones keeping this whole thing standing. We deserve rest. We deserve fairness. We deserve better than exhaustion dressed up as freedom. So yeah, November 25th. If you started early, good. If you can't stop working, that's okay. Just don't participate in their profits. Pull your energy back. Cancel what you can. Support small business. Because the truth is, they don't fear chaos. They fear unity. And this is us remembering what unity feels like. Y'all ready?
What we're witnessing in real time is an investment gone bad. Black people, We need to continue resting because what we're witnessing is a crash out in real time. White folks are frustrated because they've made an investment in a man, in a group, in an ideology, and the investment is going back. We not out there in those streets. They don't have anybody to fight with. They got the raids going on, scooping people off the street. What we've seen with police officers, healthcare workers, immigration are frustrated white folks. The ancestors were clear. Set it down. Rest. Because with resting comes a clear head, a clear mind, and a clear path. Rest. Build community with each other. Withhold our dollars. Many of us are executing number 1 to the T. Baby, we resting. Number 2 and 3 are going by the wayside. Build community with each other. We will not go back to the status quo. We need to be reimagining something new, something different for our community. And that requires us to pull our energy together. It also requires sacrifice. Withhold our black dollar. The boycott is necessary. And it should really create a habit of investing in our community. What we're witnessing is an investment gone bad. White folks are pissed because they just knew that if we vote for this man, we're going to get them black folks up out of here. And if we don't get them up out of here, we're going to make them suffer. That's what they always want to do. We're going to pull them out of those positions. We're going to make sure that they know their place. We're going to make their lives miserable. That was the goal. It's not happening. And they're pissed. The ROI is not coming to fruition. They're looking for a return on their investment. The instructions are clear. Rest, invest in our community, and withhold our dollars. That's what it's going to take. November 25th through December 2nd. Don't talk about it. Be about it. All right, y'all. You know I love you. Happy Black History 365. And I'll see you next time.
The stores know what we're up to. They know that we're orchestrating a boycott, and these corporations have pushed up their sales dates because of it. That's why we didn't want to give them a heads up on dates to let them know that we were coming. But since they know, and we know that they know, we can see when they're doing something to trick us. Don't fall for it. Early Black Friday deals are just to get you into the stores. They know that we're blacking out Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so they're trying to get ahead of it. Don't let them play you. Stick to the plan no matter what they say, no matter what they do. They don't want to pay us fair and livable wages. They don't want to look out for the working class. They have made their intentions very clear in where they're putting their money and what they are supporting. So we no longer support them. It's just that simple. Join us for the biggest block party they have ever seen, where the American citizens take back the conversation. We will no longer stand by.
This is what the media got completely wrong. Actually, no, you know what? They're not even talking about this, right? From November 25th to the December 2nd, we're going on a mass shutdown, a mass blackout of these big corporations. We're not spending our money. This is going to get suppressed just by the first 5 seconds of this clip. But this needs to be out there. I'll put a sticker with all the information on it. Because they're not listening to us. It's not a red versus blue thing anymore. Right now, it's a blue versus blue thing. It's blue versus purple, whatever the hell you want to call it. The Dems literally slapped us in the face. And these aren't, the politicians that completely changed their mind are not up for re-election. They're good. And I believe all of them, about one of the ones that switched, are above the age of 60. So these are career politicians, right? They've been doing this for a minute. They don't just flip-flop like this. There was some foul play here, for sure. It's politics, right? So what can you expect? But y'all gave us hope. Y'all gave us hope. What was the point of this 39, 40-day long shut down, if you guys were just gonna slap the people in the face. People were okay with not receiving their paycheck. People were struggling with their food. But there was hope. There was hope that they would still be able to afford their health care. And right now, y'all folded on a promise. Got it, Democrats, got it. Lovely. So now the only thing we can do is quite literally hit these people where it hurts, and that's the money. That's what they care about. I don't care about your little bear cup. I don't care that Target has the latest deals. I don't care that Walmart has a Thanksgiving meal that's 25%, whatever Trump is claiming that to be. You need to make your money be your voice. So again, please join us, share the video, do whatever, do all the good things, and let's get the message out there, because the mass shutdown could start today.
If inflation happens to a product or service that hasn't changed, we need to boycott it. It really does get to a point, and I feel like we're actually past that point, where these companies are going to keep inflating the prices of things and also shrinking whatever it is, the product itself, or the service itself doesn't change, or whatever you're paying for with the product, you're not getting anything added on extra, but the prices keep increasing. We actually have to stop contributing to that, because the reason why inflation keeps happening is because they know people will keep paying, because people will see it and be like, yeah, inflation is annoying, shrinkflation is annoying. Why am I paying for these things with more money, even though nothing has changed with the actual product or service? But then people will keep buying it. People will keep buying those things, and these companies know that, so they just raise the prices, because at the end of the day, they're just trying to make record-breaking profit every year. That's genuinely what they're doing, and they want to have as much wealth as they can possibly get, and so they just keep inflating the prices of everything. That goes for homes, that goes for insurance prices, that goes for bills, that goes for food, that goes for literally everything, products and services. They inflate the prices of everything, because they know that people will keep buying the service or product. And so genuinely what we have to do is actually stop buying these products or services once we see that they're inflating the prices of products and services that aren't changing or being enhanced in any way. I genuinely believe that's one of the only ways we can stop that from happening, because then they can keep inflating the prices, but now no one's buying your product or service because everyone's aware nothing is changing and nothing is being enhanced for the good of the customer. I feel like we just need to actually stop participating in that. And I feel like we need to stop participating in the system entirely. But that's just one of the things where we need to actually see inflated prices and be like, yeah, nothing changed, so you're not getting any money. Yeah.
Your dollar is the only thing that rich people know about you. They literally don't care about you. They just want you to spend your money. So if you haven't heard, we are blacking out the system November 25th to December 2nd. I love this idea, and I wish and I hope that everybody gets on it. If you haven't heard about it, no restaurants, no events. We are not spending money at big box stores. We are not going to chain restaurants. We are not spending our money that entire week. That is Thanksgiving week, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I'm going to be participating. I hope that you are also participating. I'm really excited about this. I feel like it's going to make an impact, and I hope you also participate.
Get ready, because we're about to throw the biggest block party the world has ever seen. Everyone loves a good party, and I'm not talking about a small get-together. I'm talking about the kind of block party that people write stories about. This isn't just about fun and games. This is a strategic celebration. We're going to block the flow of our business as usual. We're going to block their profits. We're going to throw a party so massive, it creates a roadblock for the entire system. And this is not exclusive. You're invited. First, mark your calendars. The official party runs from November 25th to December 2nd. And the golden rule of the party, no spending. For this entire week, your wallet and bank account are closed. No online shopping. No standing in line for coffee. No filling up the gas tank unless it's a true emergency. Now, to be a good partier, you need to be prepared. You stock up on essentials before the 25th. But listen closely. Do not create a spending surge right before or after the party. That just gives them a bonus. Second, let's talk about the vibe of the party. Don't work. A real party is an all-in commitment. So you call out, use your vacation days. You suddenly remember you have a very important family emergency out of town. Now, I know this is not possible for everyone. If you must work, if it's a genuine essential service or life or death for you, then your mission is to slow down, be deliberately unproductive, especially if you work at a large organization. Take your time, forget things. Now, lastly, if you must spend, if it's a genuine need, take that money and put it directly into the hands of your community. Local farmers market, small mom and pop shop on the corner, small businesses only. Support the people, not the corporations. Everyone loves to party. So let's come together. Let's make this block party so united and massive that the world has no choice but to hear our celebration. This holiday season, we reclaim our power by taking back our money and our labor. Like, comment, and share to spread the word.
America, 2 things are happening this month in November that requires a massive amount of American participation for this to go off without a hitch. So I'm going to keep talking about it at least once or twice a week. Please don't get sick of me. Just help share it out. The first one is this. November 22nd, remove the regime. This is a protest being organized by your veterans, by the men and women who've already fought, defended this country, defended you, and are now being called to keep defending the Constitution and the freedoms and rights of everyday Americans. In Washington, D.C., November 22nd, there's going to be a lot of your favorite content creators. There's going to be singers. There's going to be a lot of people there that you've been watching and following for years, and it would be really great if you could make it there. Really great. They're asking you to come. They want you to be there, and I urge you to be there as well. The second thing is November 25th through December 5th. It is a mass blackout of the entire system. Mass blackout. We want Black Friday and Cyber Monday to flatline. These organizations need to realize that without us, they would not exist. And what they're asking you to do is not to go the day before and fill up on everything you need. They want you to slowly gather the things you need while we approach that date, so that come that time, we don't have to run out and start trying to stock up on the things that we need after as well. Play it smart. Stock up slowly over these next few weeks, and we will ride it in and ride it out smoothly like an organized, well-oiled machine. Please make sure to share these 2 things as often as possible so that it gets as many views as possible. I would like to personally thank the veterans who have already served this country, sworn their oath, and continue to protect and defend it more than the current regime ever could. My heart swells with love for every one of you. And for the Americans who are willing to participate in this mass blackout, please understand that continuing to shop at places like Walmart or Meijer, who give 98% of their political donations to fascist regimes, you are giving your money to this regime directly. Most of the time, people are shopping there knowing it's wrong out of convenience, and you've got to find your conviction. If you can't get there because you live in the sticks, different story. Try to find other ways around it. Shop less if you can. Use less. It's time to put the screws to them, America. We're done.
Many of us are frustrated by these 8 Democrats who caved, but what it is highlighting is that there is a strong necessity for change, a revolution, but you have to be willing to sacrifice your convenience, because convenience is complacency and change needs courage to be its catalyst. We can say we want a revolution, but revolutions are not born from comfort. They are born from clarity, from realizing that we have been taught to chase the very things that are trying to keep us distracted and divided. And this holiday season, we're going to have to send a very loud message by being as fiscally silent as possible. These billionaires and people in charge are trying to get more and more while we get less and less. Food lines are growing. Healthcare is becoming unattainable. And they want to stretch you so thin that you have no choice but to concede to them and concede all your freedom so they can give you scraps. Well, we got a trick for them because there's a mass blackout being organized, a protest by the people for the people that's going through the holidays. And I'm with it because when we withhold what they expect, our dollars, our impulse, we remind them who really fuels this economy. And here's the tabulation to go along with it. Exorbitant spending is not necessary to enjoy the holidays. That is a lie we were sold. A tradition that is built on transaction. But joy does not live in your receipt, in your shopping cart, or is not sent 24 hours through Amazon Prime. It lives in your living room. It lives with the laughter of your family, which costs nothing, and the sound of gathered people enjoying one another, good music, spades, whatever you're going to do. And the thought and the knowledge that you made it another year. Come on. That's wealth. That's abundance. That's enough. We become too reliant on material things that measure our happiness. But maybe the revolution is realizing that simplicity is strength and that it doesn't need packaging. So this year I'm doing it differently. If I give anything, it'll be something made, something that feels like me. And if you want to give me something, the older I get, I say pay a bill. You let that be the gift, because I promise security will mean more than any sweater or perfume or whatever could. So ask somebody, do they have food in their fridge? Ask them if they're doing all right. Give people something that gives again. When you bless somebody, they tend to bless somebody else down the line. And that's how the chain of blessings begins. So this holiday season, do that. Don't let it start with sales, but with solidarity. Let this blackout be not about lack, but about liberation. Not about skipping joy, but about redefining it and about becoming the leaders that you want to be. All this conversation been swirling around talking about who's going to be in charge next and primarying people. And that's necessary because that's how our government works. But we should be recognized that we may not run for office, but we are all effective leaders of the United States of America. We are the current that keeps this country flowing. And if we unplug altogether, then they'll finally see who's holding the switch. So I say lead where you are, love when you can, and live like you mean it, because the greatest gift you can give this season is the proof that joy can't be bought but built. That's the revolution. And you got to ask yourself, are you ready for it?
Last week, I asked a question. Are we doing it? Are we doing the mass blackout? Are we going to make the sacrifice now for a better future? And a lot of you told me you were in. Well, I hope you realize something. When we do this, we're taking a big risk. What we're talking about is changing the entire way you live your life. That's not going to be easy. And unfortunately, not a lot of people are going to be able or willing to do it. But we don't need everybody. We just need enough. And I want this video to get out to people who are serious about the mass blackout, because I need a favor from you. If you are serious about shutting this down, about shutting down this system and hurting the pockets of the billionaires and the organizations who are suppressing us, or at least aiding in our suppression, I want you to think of 5 people right now. 5 people that you could ask, family, friends, coworkers, whoever, to get involved with the mass blackout. Every single one of you knows at least 5 people. I want you to ask them today to black out the system with you. And you don't have to worry about getting all 5 involved. If you could get 2 of the 5 involved, that's more than enough. The whole point is to get as many people talking about this as much as possible. See, it's one thing for us on this app to talk about it. I want people on IG talking about it, Facebook talking about it, the tube that is you talking about it, Substack, Threads, X. It needs to be across all social media. And then we need people in mainstream talking about it. I want Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, one of the Jimmys, Stephen Colbert, Joy Reid. I want big voices in Hollywood talking about this. This needs to be a unified front. If we're going to do this, we need as many people involved as possible. There are some people who have to work, essentials, for example, and that's fine. We can do a lot with enough. Now, I don't want you guys to have to worry about the exact number. We can't control that. We can't control how many people participate. There is no button we can push to get a certain amount, but we can do our part. And all I'm asking is that you find 5 people that you think would boycott with you, that you think will participate in the blackout with you. And no, you don't just have to sit at home. There are multiple ways you can participate. cancel subscriptions, reallocate your money from big businesses to small businesses. There are multiple organizations that I will tag in this video that you should follow, and they will give you multiple ways you can participate. You don't just have to sit at home. If you wanted to sit at home and do nothing for a week, go for it. But I know that's not practical for a lot of people, for everybody, and that's okay. There are other ways you can participate. All I need to know is this. Are you in? If we're going to do this, we need to be all the way in. 5 people today. Ask them if they will participate. And then come back and let me know if they said that they would. Matter of fact, in the comments, come back and let me know how many people said yes. Even if it's just one person, that's more than enough. You doubled your number. And you know what? Some might overachieve. I'm not asking you to stop at 5. You want to do 10, 20, 100? Go for it. At the very least, I'm asking you to talk to 5 people and asking them to participate in the mass blackout from November 25th to December 2nd. Let's do our part to shut down these oppressors and protect our democracy. Stay hopeful, trust your gut, and always know you're not crazy.
I have a good idea for people who are participating in the mass blackout and the People's Sick Day coming up November 25th through the 2nd of December. First, if you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of people are going to do a mass blackout, meaning that they're not going to shop at all between November 25th and December 2nd. During the holidays, especially over Black Friday and Cyber Monday, when there are these supposedly huge deals, which we all know aren't really huge anymore, people are just not going to shop. We're going to speak with our wallet and let our country know that we're sick of the billionaire ruling class. If you're able to, they say take a sick day. We want as few people working those days as possible as well. If you like shopping on Black Friday, like I always did, go through the websites for fun and think of some of the things you would have bought and write down how much they would have cost, and then put that money toward a Giving Tuesday gift to an organization you care about. Giving Tuesday is always the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, so it comes after Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And the idea is that now that you've spent some money on yourself, you can also give back. But think about how much more your money will do if you don't spend any money and give to those big corporations during Black Friday. Maybe every year you spend about $50 on yourself during Black Friday and about $30 on Giving Tuesday. Now you could spend $80 on Giving Tuesday instead.
The Democrats have surrendered to Trump and the Republicans, so now it is up to the American people to fight for themselves. The first test as to whether the U.S. people want to live free or under Republican fascism takes place 25 November through 2 December, the mass blackout. It targets the biggest spending days of the year. Here is the action. Do not shop. Do not stream. Do not travel. Do not work. Do not participate in the Republican economy. On 30 November, use only small local stores and pay cash. The idea is to pull money and labor out at the exact moment the economy expects the opposite. Here's what participation looks like. Skip Black Friday. Skip Cyber Monday. Cut subscriptions. Delay every purchase. Treat the entire week as a freeze. The coalition behind this is real. Blackout the system. People's Sick Day. American Opposition. The Money Out of Politics Movement. Progressive Network, and others. The reach is in the hundreds of thousands, and national outlets are already concerned. This is where you, Americans, decide which side you are on. And if you cannot go a few days without shopping, you deserve the dictatorship you get. Find out more at blackoutthesystem.com.
By white supremacy and elitism, this country was stolen. And by white supremacy and elitism, the pillars built off the backs of slaves are starting to fall. The life that bone spurs and the billionaire elite are carving out for themselves with our money is not sustainable, but they haven't figured that out yet. I've said this a few times in my videos, but they are still forgetting who gave them the money to get where they are today. It's our money that they're spending, our money that pays for these lavish parties, our tax dollars that are picking up the slack when they get tax credits and tax breaks, when they get government contracts and government subsidies and PPP loans that are completely forgiven and never have to be repaid. It is the American people, our tax dollars, our spending habits, buying from these corporations that are giving them the money that they need to carve the lifestyle that they have off of the backs of the working people. No longer caring about quality, but quantity. shrinking the amount of the product while also jacking up the prices, squeezing the American consumer for every dollar that they have. Rent, daycare, utility prices, food prices, gas prices, all of them have gone up, but wages have stayed stagnant. Accounting for inflation and the cost of living, people make less now than they did in the 1950s. Single income households are no longer possible for many, where even if you are a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home husband, you still find yourself having to find ways to make money to help your partner. Speaking from personal experience, all the while we're struggling to give these corporations more of our money, while they are steady figuring out ways to pay less, to charge more, and to give us a product that's not nearly the quality that we used to have. All while getting massive tax breaks from the government that we have to foot the bill for. So what do? Stop spending. Tuesday, November 25th to Tuesday, December 2nd. Stop spending. This is a mass blackout, and it should be even bigger than No King's Day. Why? Because now we're speaking a language that they understand. These people only understand the color green, and they only start to fear when their profit margins go down, which can make action like this even more effective than marching in the streets. The civil rights marches were iconic, and they made a huge statement, but the boycotts caused fear, and that fear caused change and respect for the black dollar. Imagine 7 million plus people stop spending for an entire week, and not just any entire week, the week on the biggest spending weekend of the year. This is the weekend that companies use to make up margins that they didn't see throughout the year. Companies like Walmart and Target are depending on spending during the Black Friday week in order to make up lost revenue from the rest of the year. How good would it feel to deny them that? So what does this mean? No spending. Don't spend on Thanksgiving, the 27th. Don't spend on Black Friday, the 28th. And don't spend on the 1st, Cyber Monday. Don't spend and watch these CEOs who think that they are so special because they are sitting in Great Gatsby-themed parties with the presidential POS. And they're having lavish parties at the White House and at Mar-a-Lago. And they think that they have all this money to spend and this ridiculously large net worth. But they don't understand that they got this net worth from us, from our dollars, our spending habits, our consumer habits. They got that money from us, and what we have giveth, we can taketh away. Now, the inevitable question is, what if you need something during that time? Well, keeping your money circulating locally is the best thing that you can do. Finding local mom and pop shops to get the things that you need can actually be a really good way to explore your local area. Discover Black-owned businesses or marginalized-owned businesses that you haven't discovered before. Try that local non-chain restaurant that popped up down the street a few years ago and you still haven't been to it yet. Try that locally owned convenience store to get your necessities. Perhaps there's a local butcher selling turkeys. Perhaps there's a local farm down the street selling produce. Start supporting small companies and leave these big corporations alone. You might be surprised to find that replacing big corporations in your life may be easier than you thought. 7 million people took to the streets for No King's Day. And that was without the full assembly of the Black community. This right here, I think our numbers can be even bigger. As far as I've seen, the Black community is on board. So we can make these numbers even bigger, just if everybody who participated in No Kings participates in this. I'm tired of these elites thinking that they are guaranteed to our money. And what they don't understand is their net worth is completely dependent on us continuing to spend at the numbers that we always have. That is how they calculate how much money they are going to cash out. Maybe it's time for us to be as unpredictable as they have been. Maybe it's time for us to tell them that they can't depend on us, just like they've told us that we can't depend on them.
Yeah, the mass blackout month is here, and a lot of people have been asking questions, is this going to actually hold? Yeah, it's going to hold. Yeah, the masses are holding back their money. That is what mass blackout is for. Mass blackout is not like a power outage or something, right? Masses are going to hold back their money and watch the economy really wants that money, right? So it's going to be happening from the November 25th to December 2nd. Please try and be a part of it. Please try and be a part of it. Do not forget, no shopping, no celebration, no anything, right? No party if you like, and all of that. Yeah, you can buy, but you should buy from locals. Yeah, that is what you should do. A lot of people are beginning to, find out these things because they are now aware of the dates. Like Walmart, they are now making their Black Fridays to be on the 20th instead of 24th or 25th, right? Do not fall for this. Please do not buy. Do not buy. This whole mass blackout is for a specific reason. And if we keep quiet this way, we're not going to achieve it. Our voices need to be heard out there so that changes can come. Are you comfortable with the high cost of living, house accommodations, food and all of that? The skyrocketing of all those prices. Do you like it? If you don't like it, please try and be a part of it. I know we can do it. If you know you can do it, let me see it in the comment section. Do not say, oh, because you got your snap in November, that you're not going to do it. Please, everyone is going on it. That's a mass revolution, right? That's not been done before. Try and be a part of it. My name is BJ on Global Juice with BJ. I'll see you next time. Please be a part of it. We are watching. Bye, guys.